Hey everybody, welcome back to BobkeTV, a thrilling stage 14 in the books in the Vuelta a Espana. But before we get to that, I would like to remind people about the appropriate language for the comments section. I kind of feel a little bit like George Carlin in his description of the words you cannot say on TV. If you haven't seen that stand-up bit by George Carlin, I recommend highly you go to YouTube and look up, I can't remember, 7, 8, 9, maybe 1,500 words you can't use in television. Groundbreaking, brilliant George Carlin, one of the greatest stand-ups of all time, and a tremendous social commentarian in his lifetime. So on the forum for BobkeTV, you know the words you should not use and be polite. So can we just apply ourselves to those standards and everything else will be fine. Don't oftentimes have as chaotic a stage as we did a few days ago, where bodies were flying all over stage number 12 of the Vuelta. And yesterday I wanted to mention that. I'll get to it today, which is one of the good things about the Grand Tours. Eventually you get to say everything that you want to and is appropriate, hopefully. But yesterday's stage, much more calm than the day before. And the day before, stage 12, a lot of comments from that, which I appreciate. And please bring the comments. Just keep them clean. Thank you very much. Into the stage now. Great win by Rafael Majka. Majka's had a tough season. He just barely lost the Tour of California this spring to George Bennett. He just barely lost his home tour, the Tour of Poland, finished second again on that one. On stage 9, the Mont du Chat, everybody remember that? The stage won by Rigoberto Urán, but that stage put paid to the chances of a number of riders, including Richie Porte, to a certain extent. Dan Martin, who actually broke his back in that crash, carried on to finish in the top 10 of the Tour de France. But also Matteo Trentin, oddly enough, who won stage 14, eliminated on time because of a crash on that stage number 9 in the Tour de France. He did struggle to the finish line, but was outside the time limit. And Rafael Majka also crashing out on that stage of the Tour de France. So a very divisive, yes, and decisive stage number 9 in the Tour. Fast forward to today, and Majka, a brilliant time trial. The resistance, the tenacity to cling on to a pretty tenuous lead for the entire finale of the bike race was really impressive by Rafael Majka. And I think the peloton put so much pressure on the time gap that the breakaway had that eventually they ran out of momentum. And in the last couple of Ks, it looked like for sure Majka was going to get caught, but he didn't. He had the power, the resistance, and the tenacity to hold off the greatest climbers in professional cycling: Chris Froome, Alberto Contador, Vincenzo Nibali, Wilco Kelderman had a great stage. Michael Woods was solid. Fabio Aru, Miguel Angel Lopez was the strongest from the field, but none of them could catch Rafael Majka. So great stage win for Bora, teammates with Peter Sagan, who won a stage in the Tour, but then, if we all remember, asked to remove himself from the Tour. A horrible judgment on behalf of the jury of commissars in the Tour. That day and that decision will live on in infamy for a long time to come. But Rafael Majka restoring some better things to talk about for the Bora team. And hats off. Congratulations to Rafael Majka for a brilliant stage win. And I thought for sure he was going to get caught in the closing miles, but that didn't happen. In the chase behind, like I said, Miguel Angel Lopez, the strongest. Nibali was third. Chris Froome fourth. Esteban Chavez had a little bit of a hard time in the finale. Chavez went from a long ways out, attacked a long ways to go. I don't think you'll see him do that Again, if he learns from that mistake, I think he had to pay for that in the closing couple of Ks. Watch for Chavez to wait much later on tomorrow's stage, another chance for a mountaintop finish, the highest point in the Vuelta. Watch for Lopez to continue to go on the attack. He looks so strong. Attacked once, they caught him, attacked again, and nobody could come back to him. It's pretty close to the finish line, but it was great to watch Lopez fight for the wheel of Chris Froome, follow Chris until Chris could not follow him, and then put in the hard attack. If Micah had been caught miles before, it would have been Lopez's second stage win, and I'm sure he's hungry for plenty of more. Big mountaintop tomorrow. You got to tune into that. Highest point in the Vuelta. It's been a great Grand Tour so far. Tomorrow marks the beginning of the last week of the race. One more rest day. I can't wait for the rest day, to be honest with y'all. Until then, till tomorrow, thanks for joining me. And just keep the language squeaky clean that you could share with anybody. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.